Signs of a low-value woman. In this video, I'm going to share some of the most common low-value woman behaviors. It's Sabrina, your personal love advisor from A New Mode, the channel where we show you how love actually works. So I had another video on how to be a high-value woman, and that got a really great response. And in general, you guys seem to really like it when I talk about this topic. So today I'm going to do the reverse. Instead of talking about how to be a high-value woman, I'm going to point out some of the most common low-value woman behaviors. And I'm an expert on this field because for many, many years, I was a woman of low value. Being low value has nothing to do with you. It's not about your physical appearance. It's not about your personality traits. It's not anything about your life circumstances. It's your perception of yourself. And this is good news because it means it's within your control to change it and to become a woman of high value. There are a lot of things that we can't break free of in life, but the way you perceive yourself is something that you can overcome. I'm going to tell you the biggest signs of a low value woman and how to overcome them. So make sure you watch this video all the way until the end. Real quick, if you like this video and find it helpful, please give it a like. This is a super quick, takes less than a second way to help me out and help me grow my channel. It tells YouTube that this is a good video and YouTube should recommend it to more people. Also make sure to subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you have any suggestions for topics that you want me to cover, or if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. I read them all. I try to get back to everyone. Now, if you're a regular here, you know that I talk a lot about how important it is to be a confident, high value woman and how this is essential in terms of getting a guy to be attracted to you and to want to commit himself to you. But if you want to know more about what it really takes to get a man hooked and to intensely desire you, then you need to check out our Make Him Want You Bad system. It is a whole system created by Eric and I. Eric is the co-founder of A New Mode, and in it we go into a lot of depth about what men really want in a woman, what gets him to be super attracted to you, and what makes him want to truly commit himself to you. So you can download it right now or when you're done with this video at makehimcraveyou.com, and I will put the link down below. Okay, let's get into it. These are some of the biggest low value woman behaviors. Number one, desperately trying to win him over. If you find yourself trying to figure out how to get a guy to like you, how to get him to ask you out, or plotting in any sort of way when it comes to him, then you need to stop. This is not attractive and this is not high value behavior. I tell this to my friends and to my followers all the time when they ask me, how do I get a guy to like me? Or how do I get him to pursue me? How do I get him to ask me out? All you need to do is exist. If a guy is interested in you and you exist, he'll do something about it. You don't need to do anything to force his hand. The only thing you can really do is just be your best self. I mean, obviously you want to look your best, you want to act your best, you want to be at your best. So try to pursue those things, but there's nothing you can specifically do to get him to feel a certain way about you. I mean, yeah, be receptive if he flirts with you, like that's something that you can do. But other than that, you have to quit it with the plotting. You have to quit it with the trying to be the type of woman that you think that he wants. You have to stop making it all about him because this is desperate behavior. When you're trying to win a man over, the implied message is, you're better than me. I don't really think that I'm worthy of you. So I need to work really hard to compensate for that. And I'm just hoping that you pick me anyway. This just is not an attractive energy to be sending out there. Number two, obsessing over him. This is just a thing that women do. We obsess. We can't help it. When things aren't going the way we want, we can't help but obsess over it in some sort of attempt to get things back on track. And spoiler alert, this never works. If anything, you just succeed in driving yourself crazy and you just create this anxious energy that doesn't feel good to be around. And he'll pick up on it. We can all pick up on that anxious, stressful sort of energy, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be around someone who's coming from that place. When you obsess over a guy, you are making him the prize that you need to win over. And again, this sends the message that he's better than you, that you're some lowly underling and he's this supreme being and you need a fight to win him over. This is just never the place you should be coming from. Maybe you do believe that he's out of your league, but tell yourself the opposite anyway. Tell yourself, no, I'm a great catch. He would be lucky to have me. It doesn't matter if you don't believe it. It doesn't matter what you believe. Your thoughts will make it so. The more you tell yourself something, the more that becomes your reality. So maybe it feels a little ridiculous at first, but it will penetrate in time. Do you know what happens when you obsess over a guy? You come to care about him even more. You come to invest in the relationship even more. And all of a sudden, you are in a completely lopsided relationship, because what gets us to care about another person is how much we give to them, how much we invest in them. And by pouring all this mental and emotional energy into him and into how he feels and where he stands, you're the only one that ends up investing. And then all of a sudden, you're in this relationship that is completely off balance. He thinks that you guys are just casually dating. You think that this is going to be something super serious. He ends up leaving because he's like, whoa, like, I'm not ready. I'm not in the same place as you. And you feel almost betrayed. You put so much into this relationship and now he just leaves. Like, he could just walk away so easily. Yeah, because this wasn't really anything to him yet. You turned it into something on your end by pouring so much of yourself into it. So really what you need to do is hold back. Don't invest until he's invested in you, and stop the obsessing. Number 3, not being able to give him space. Now, I have other videos on this about why men pull away. I've written tons of articles on this. I actually want to write an ebook on this. I think that might be my next ebook. Leave me a comment below telling me what you think, if you think that that's something you'd be interested in. But the point is, sometimes men need space. It's just how they deal with things. It's how they deal with stress and emotional difficulties in their life. If a woman can't handle this and can't give him that space, that's a big problem. Women who are low value will take it personally when a guy pulls back and needs space. Instead of just graciously giving it to him, she's gonna fight to win him over. She might show up at his house scantily clad with homemade cookies and a case of beer. She needs him. She can't just let him be, because that makes her too anxious. That makes her too nervous. It makes her too insecure. She's scared that it means he's losing interest. She's scared that it means he's gonna dump her or ghost her. So she can't let it be. She has to win him back. She needs reassurance that everything's okay. And she can't give herself that reassurance. She needs it from him. So she completely interrupts his process and what he needs by just showing up and being in his face when what he really needs is space. And as a result, he comes to resent her. He resents her and he sees her for what she is, someone who is painfully insecure and cannot handle not having all the attention on her in a relationship, because she can't make herself feel good on her own. She needs him to do that. And that's not his role. It's not his job. He probably started pulling away for reasons that had nothing to do with her. It most likely had to do with something that he was going through internally. But now she's making herself into the problem. Now it went from being a personal problem to being a relationship problem. And the reason she's being so smothering and suffocating is because deep down, she always kind of thought he was going to lose interest, because she doesn't value herself. And she thinks that that's what's going to happen. Inevitably, she's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. She believes that guys are always going to leave her. So as soon as something looks like a bad sign, she pounces on it because it confirms something that she was anticipating all along. A high value woman can graciously step back, let a man take his space, and she'll just focus on other things. She'll focus on herself. She'll use this as an opportunity to work on herself. She won't go into panic mode and fix-it mode trying to solve the problem, because she knows there's no problem for her to solve. And she's not terrified over the prospect of him losing interest. She thinks, okay, if he's losing interest in me, if he doesn't want to continue dating me, that's fine. It just means he's not the right guy for me, and I will find someone else, and it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. The most important mentality to have is one where you truly believe that you will be okay no matter what. And this is the real secret to calming your anxiety, to having confidence. It really comes down to knowing that you'll be fine no matter what happens. Number 4, you don't like yourself. Probably the biggest factor contributing to your low value behavior is the fact that deep down you don't truly like yourself. And rather than working on developing a better relationship with yourself, you outsource the task. You think that if you can get a really great guy to like you, then that will make that wound all better. Then that will heal you. Then that will mean that you're worthy and you're okay and you're lovable. You just need to find a great guy and get him to like you and get him to commit, and you'll be set. It doesn't work that way. Instead, you meet this guy, maybe you do start dating, it's casual, but it can never really go anywhere, because in time, your true self shows, and you're basically an empty vessel. Nothing he does or says truly penetrates, because you don't have that foundation of truly liking or loving yourself. And that's when the neediness comes out. That's when the desperate behavior comes out. And that just completely kills attraction. It completely kills the relationship. I mean, this just reminds me of my own life. My late teens and early 20s, this is how I was. I was that empty vessel. I didn't have that sense of confidence within myself. And I was so good at attracting guys initially. And that was such a high for me. I could easily get them interested in me and attracted to me, but it never stuck, because I was this desperate little puppy who just wanted and needed their love and affection so badly. And just very quickly, one by one, they would just leave. And I didn't get it. I was like, I don't get it. Like, he was so into me at first. What happened? It wasn't until years later and looking back that I could see it all with crystal clear clarity. When you don't have a strong base internally, you are always going to seek validation externally. And that's when you get into trouble, because nothing you do comes across as authentic. You're basically just doing something to get something from someone else because you need that thing in order to feel okay, in order to feel good about yourself. You basically become a leech of sorts. And guys don't want to be in a relationship with a leech. They don't want to be in a relationship with a woman who's just gonna suck them dry and gonna need them for so much. You need to work on giving those things to yourself, on developing your self-esteem on your own. Number 5, having no boundaries. Healthy personal boundaries and high self-esteem go hand in hand. Having strong boundaries means you prioritize your needs and yourself above anyone else, especially in the early phases of a relationship. Look, as time goes on, when you're in a very serious relationship, when you're married, of course, you have to also factor in your partner's needs, and those become equal to your own. But I see so many women completely abandoning their needs and completely breaking down their boundaries, or if they even had boundaries to begin with, as soon as a guy is in the picture, because they're so desperate to make it work with him. They're scared to ever say no. They're scared to ever, not do whatever it is that he wants. They want to be agreeable and amenable because she's scared she'll leave if she's not. This is not high value behavior. This is low value behavior. A high value woman knows and expects that her boundaries will be respected, and she would never waste time on a guy who won't or can't respect her boundaries. People with low value will put up with bad treatment because deep down, it's what they feel they deserve. Or maybe deep down, they don't think they're ever gonna find better. This is where you get into trouble. This is where you get into toxic relationships, codependent relationships, or even abusive relationships. The point is, it's really important to work on your relationship with yourself before you can focus on having a relationship with someone else. If you don't, it will just lead you into a bad place. It will lead you to a place of getting your heart broken over and over again, of ending up in toxic relationships one after the next, and wondering why this always happens to you. What's wrong with you? Why can't you ever have a healthy relationship? It comes down to the way you perceive yourself and how much you value yourself or how little you value yourself. I really hope that you found this video helpful. If so, please give me a like. For more relationship advice, check out anewmode.com. Follow me on Instagram @anewmode. And if you really want to know what it takes to be that high value woman that men crave, are super attracted to, want to commit themselves to, then head over to makehimcraveyou.com. Link is down below. We have a whole system that will walk you through exactly what it is you need to do to get there. And I will see you guys in the next video.